What is going on, family? We are back, and we are getting into a brand new artist, for me, with Infected Rain. And this one comes to us as a request from our good friend Russ in Canada. And shout out to him. And he made sure that we wanted to make sure that we talked and read through the initial comment that was posted by the band themselves on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and read that now. It says, thank you so much for watching. Lena has shared some thoughts about this video. The red handprint over the mouth has become a powerful symbol of the abuse, disappearance, and murder of Indigenous women, representing the voices that go unheard. It is tied to the War Party movement, which supports abuse survivors through education, intervention, and skill building. Infected Rain stands in solidarity with the countless abused, murdered, and missing women around the world. As the lead singer of Infected Rain, this cause resonates deeply with me on a personal level. Growing up in Eastern Europe, I witnessed physical abuse firsthand, not only towards myself, but also towards my mother and siblings. In the community, abuse was often normalized, a harsh reality that affected so many lives. The reality of that. These horror stories from my childhood have stayed with me, and they drive my passion for speaking out on behalf of those who feel silenced. Again, loud and clear, we hear you. Tragically, violence against women is a global crisis. In the United States alone, more than 1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime, and Indigenous women are disproportionately affected. In fact, Indigenous women in the U.S. are murdered at a rate more than 10 times the national average. Talking about those facts over here in the U.S. By raising awareness through this video, Infected Rain aims to contribute to the fight against abuse and violence, not only through our music, but by supporting movements that empower survivors and bring justice to those who have been wronged. That was a really beautiful message. Thank you from the band for providing that. It provides a lot of context of really just who the overall band is, who the artists behind this band, who they are and what they stand for and represent. And honestly, they're really bringing a lot of conversation around the idea of really just the tragedy that we talk about really a lot on this channel, just period, of just how women are treated really throughout the world. You know what I mean? So we've had plenty of conversations about the issues that we have had and are continuing to have throughout the U.S., especially more recently. So it's something that we always stand for very strongly on our channel, is in solidarity and try to in an effort to support the women of the world, very much like this message represents. So I'm already kind of feeling a little emotional just kind of reading it, because I feel so strongly about this topic. I feel like this song is going to be really moving, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, yeah. I wanted to make sure there was no closed captions. I was like, I'm wondering if there, like, I could read like what she's saying. The song's got like a really like overall just really unique kind of like sound to it, where it's kind of, I guess, a little bit difficult for me to kind of explain because I don't really feel like I've ever really like listened to something quite like it before. Where I feel like it's a little bit of a genre blending, but it's very artistic at the same time, and it's got a really like rock rooted like again, I'm drawing a lot of blanks and really just kind of describe kind of like the overall sound to me. But I like the overall sound to it. I think that it works really well. I think the imagery throughout the video is very strong, with like the red like horns and like the braids and stuff like that. Where I'm not quite sure if there's like a parallel of like what she's trying to really draw out of the imagery, but it looks kind of like the darkness kind of sleeping through like the light, if you will, like with a lot of the white, which I think kind of ties together with a little bit of the subject matter, right? Is like the evil will approach and stuff like that kind of deal. So I think it's all kind of working together, but I feel like I'm still kind of still dissolving a little bit of what I'm witnessing.
While your mind is racing, overwhelming your heart, remember to stop and breathe. Fear cannot tell you how to live. All exalted, nothing but nostrils. No way to hide. Come on,
I think that for me what I liked was the way that they kind of matched the visual representation with the overall like message of the story. Like, you know, the lyric when she, like they just said, like, you know, you can't let fear basically like guide you in like your decision making and whatnot. And I feel like that's a lot of like what they represent in like the overall look of like the video, and like from what I can, I guess, see from like this next one that's on the list here, like it's a lot of strong imagery that looks like, you know, very, very like dark and scary, if you will. So the fear-based look, you know what I mean? So I think that the message of the song, I think, really translated really well. Like I said, this was done like in a very unique style of kind of like rock, if you will, but also like mixed together with like they were talking about indigenous people, and I don't know if that means that they fall into that category of being part of an indigenous group of people per se, but some of the elements of the song kind of reminded me of like what I would think of like indigenous type music, if that makes any sense, or influenced by. So that's where I feel like there's a little bit of like the really artistic like blends with the two. So I found it to be interesting for sure. This is my first time listening to Infected Rain, but again, looking and listening to the message and listening to and reading like the overall thoughts and message behind like the thought process behind the message of this. Is always something I could definitely 100% get behind, and I'm all about artistic expression and freedom to be able to explore those ideas and find out new ways to translate those kinds of thoughts and emotions into an art form. So thank you, Russ, for the suggestion. Appreciate you. Make sure that you are kind to a stranger today. Tell somebody that you love them, and if you haven't joined the Foxtrot family, there's always room for you.